11 years back, one of Thomas Hol's nearest friends, Lorenz Heine, requested to find out Spanish. Thomas, surely confident him how where must be few readily available on the internet courses to help him in the search. But while Thomas rotated to Google, the later 32-year-old software program engineering was amazed by the rare results. I begun a searching and I couldn't discover whatever nice, recalls Thomas, who at the period was work on a piece of music mixing program for DJs where were compact ROMs, where were textbooks. But at the period not so lot on the internet. A few months after, Thomas, Lorenz and two others solved to get matters in his own hands, and shaped Babbel, a tongue training website and app how now boasting 1 millionth pay members world, and clocks up several 100,000 downloads a date. But the travel of a friable conception scrawled on a side of whiteboards in Berlin, to a world transactions how plant in the likes of machine gigantic poem and live video flowing facility Netflix, was whatever but simple. We were cute haughty, says Thomas of oneself and his 3 company founders. We didn't aware which we didn't aware. Not one of the business's youthful masterminds had any backdrop in training languages, and at first they just tested to adjust current year material. We did rather a lot of publication deals wherever we would license substance of publication houses and try to put it on the internet, says Thomas, who is now the business's head policy official. Yet one item we depicted out in how trial was how time the material were nice, we were possessing a really difficult period. It would get us rather several force to get such material, and put them in a shape how would job on the internet, or how would job on a portable telephone. Quickly the crew implemented how they were superior off start of scrape, and creation his own made-to-order courses. Present Berlin-based Babbel is one of the largest famous tongue training apps on both of Poem and Droid devices. But how precisely does it competitive, in which is now a really overcrowded market, in firms Love Busuu, Duolingo, HelloTalk, Memrise, Mosalingua and tongue training vet Rosette Rock? Thomas says how center to Babbel's successful is how they implemented of day one how where is not a size-fits-all attitude to tongue training. Accounting which he says how a Frenchman would discover several beginnings of training Deutsche facilitating rather than a Brit, since France and Deutsche both of use grammatical sort, lifeless objects such as tables are taking into account a man or woman symbol, or in Deutsche a medium sort as so. As well, he says how a Spanish should be capable to profit rapidity in Italian quicker rather than a Swedish woman, since Spanish and Italian include a lot in overall as novel languages associated to Roman. In the theoretical in reason, Babbel's Deutsche year for British speakers is various to the Deutsche year for France speakers, and so on. The business as well giving particular courses adapted for industry human beings, or such departure to a nation on feast. Babbel's methods include 1. The business lot fans, help it to lift $22 meter, £17 meter, in a 2015 financing circle. It as well came to the focus of technology gigantic Poem, for whom the Deutsche company constructed a specific release of its app for the start of the Poem look. And it was closed by Netflix to do a Spanish training instrument to Necktie in the hit Spanish tongue TV show Narcos. Anabelata Encarnaco, Babbel's CEO of Productivity Sale, key points else element in the business's successful. Grown in Portugal and France, she was utilized to welcome human beings in kisses on both of cheeks, but a clean tongue year, she says, wouldn't learn you how the is not norm experience in Germany. So instead of Babbel, as well plant on additional nonverbal communicating content how teaches fair how, range of blog posts and debate boards to brief films done in its own little workshop. Same Italian gestures live video is really famous, says Annabella, relating to a cheerful 5-minute textbook how is one of the key points of the business's busy YouTube canal. Babbel doesn't show its rental income, but the business makes its cash of subscriptions. Time users can accessing a main facility for complimentary, they include to pay to open more than substance. Time Lorenz Heine has with leftward the business, Babbel is ongoing to extend about the planet. Time largest of its personnel are relying in Berlin, it implemented a few year ago how it necessary a constant US present if it requested to fracture how marketplace. In the US, Thomas says how such an at-the-ground attitude is urgent since it is so unanimously British talk, in fair about 1/5 of the people creature 2 languages, compared to more than rather than 50% of Europeans. During America, you don't in fact include to say else tongue, he says. In general, you don't find out a tongue for job need. Instead of, study showed, Americans were training languages for aspirational reasons, to say to a overseas-born friend, or to find out a tongue speak by an migrant grandfather. In reason, the business outdoor a New York office space, and employed many decades of original inhabitants who superior understood the as necessary of learners in the U.S. Francine Espinoza Peterson, a prof of SAIL at the Europe High School of Control and Technique, agrees how Babbel is ongoing to be success since it tailors its services for various as necessary. Babbel is capable to meet the main requirement of connected, she says. Yet the is so various through human beings, through counties and through consumer, they were capable, in technologies, to propose thing localized and personalized at the identical period. But why the behalf Babbel? Thomas says it is a link to the Bible history of the rig of pandemonium and how God created a numerous of languages, and as well the reality how Babbel is a Deutsche speech how tool to say in a amiable path. The following border for Babbel is seemingly virtual fact, and the business and visions annexed in that tongue training will involve cooperation in else home orator, although in Pell shape. Yet, in spite its high plans, Thomas adds how the business's mission statement remnant as easy as while it was based, all should, and could, find out a tongue.